And we are green. Evenly start inside line with the edge.
Mark Jackson just slower than Wesley Hollinger.
Drivers around the corners as long as they hit their...
Romax on the lid. We're racing race number 1. Live here tonight on the American Sim Network, one of the greatest tracks in all of NASCAR. It's the Loose Lugnuts. Support the Troops Truck Series. I'm Matt Egan, joined by Jeff Wood, and I'm going to let John introduce himself because I don't think I'm going to get your name right. So, John, take it away.
Well, that's John Stolcheski, and I don't blame you for not wanting to try that the first time.
Yeah, I want to get it right, and thank you. So, Stolcheski, thank you. I hope I said that right that time. Looking right now at qualifying, group qualifying here tonight. How about Chris Shaw topping the speed charts? That's Chief Shaw in that 05 machine. Great run for him. This will be interesting to see. Now, of course, super speedway racing, qualifying don't matter too much, though, but it should still be great to watch.
Yeah, being out front will be key early on, at least as long as you got a good pusher behind you, Matt. You shouldn't have to worry too much being on the pole position. But why don't we go ahead and talk about points, why we got the moment. I'll bring it on over in my mind here. Mitch Reeves still leads points by 2 points over Justin Michael. Keith Haney will be third by a further 2 points. Randy Arms fourth, so not much change. Fifth, Jeff Gilmore, probably running his best series. The trucks here tonight. Brandon Murray, 6th, Jack Watts, 7th, Trent Drum and Ray Richard tied for 8th, and Brian Abbott rounds out our top 10, followed closely by Kyle Chadwick and Ronald Klein.
Yeah, it should be pretty great to watch this championship battle unfold. Mitchell Reeves towards the top of the speed charts, not surprising there, and of course leading the points battle. Only by 2 points, though. He needs a good run tonight if he wants to hold on to that points lead. We're 6 races into this run here. I wouldn't be surprised to see Mitchell Reeves walk out of here with a top spot, and I just realized I accidentally joined in as a driver, so that's my bad there.
All right, well, yeah. Mitch Reeves, he has room to maneuver on Thursday night, at least in points. He still has a drop race available coming up, as do most drivers. I think at least 23 to 25 drivers have that drop ability.
Oh, one car almost going around there. And we do have cars going around. Ray Richard.
Multiple wreck, car flipping.
And the 19 machine. So Ray Richard into the inside wall. He won't be able to complete that lap.
Yeah, we're coming up on time here. I'm not sure how much the sim is going to give, but they will be allowed to complete this lap, and I don't think anything else.
Yeah, no, they'll be able to finish this lap, and that'll be it. They won't have enough time to get around for a second one, and it'll be interesting to see, can Ken Richardson advance his position at all? The answer to that, no, he will not. Chris Shaw,
wow.
Robert McFarlane to the top of the speed charts. How about that? How about that? And we still have 54 seconds. We have drivers that could potentially, well, I think they've actually all crossed the line. Yeah, they have. So all the drivers have crossed the start-finish line. That will be your running order, with Robert McFarlane taking the pole position here tonight. Good run for McFarlane.
We have nearly a full field tonight, but only, I believe, 11, 12 drivers have chosen to qualify.
Yeah, well, looks like Mark Jackson's trying to finish his lap. He'll be single-car run, so he'll obviously be the slowest driver, or one of the slowest drivers. But, it's better to at least complete the lap than to have no laps.
Yeah, he's going to be in the upper half of the field. Looking at it, has 4
Will he
seconds.
get across the line? Yes, he will. But that would actually start that lap, so unfortunately won't have enough time.
Oh, wow. He was starting a lap.
Oh, that's unfortunate. I really thought that was going to be a lap there. Anyway, getting ready to go racing here tonight. Jeff, I'll let you get the starting lineup here.
All right, let them pile in on the track.
Almost a full grid.
Yeah, almost a full grid.
It'll be great to watch here, though, at Dago. Almost a full field of drivers. I mean, I cannot wait to watch how this goes down.
Yeah, it's going to be a long one, though. These drivers got to realize that. Hopefully they do. Even with Matt logged in, I think we have 34 trucks on the field here tonight. Let's go ahead and go down that running order real quick. Robert McFarland, position number 1, qualifying time at 56.98. Outside pole, Ronald Klein, also on that final lap, got outside pole 57.54. Third will be Chris Shaw, Chief Shaw as we'll call him out. Mitchell Reeves 4th, Jeremy Crandall 5th, Travis Browder 6th, Brad Ream 7th, Ray Richer 8th, Jeff Gilmore 9th, Ken Richardson 10th, and Josh Scott 11th in that 23 machine. And that's the last of the people that actually qualified. Further on is Justin Michael and 12th, not even Randy Arms, but Nick Zotner 13th, 14th Rob Haynes, 15th Jack Watts, 16th Zach McSwain, Trent Drum 17th, Mark Jackson 18th, Brandon Thornhill 19th, Keith Haney will be in 20th, Johnny Smith in the 096 machine 21st, Jeff Merck 22nd, Mike Donahue 23rd, Brandon Murray 24th, Wally Tierheimer 25th, Brian Abbott 26th. 28th will be Kendall Shaw, Kyle Chadwick 29th, Andrew Feston 30th, James Haney 31st, Kerry Cleaver 32nd, officially 33rd, but up in the booth, Bad Egan, Chris Voiles will be next in line 34th, and Craig Covington, probably his 5th out of 6 races here in the Truck Series, starting dead last.
Yeah, full field thereabouts tonight. It should be a great night of racing. Don't forget, folks, you can vote for the Octane Race Products Driver of the Day Award. Put the driver name or number in the YouTube chat that you would like to vote for. Driver with the most votes at the end of the night here gets an interview by the American Sim Network, in addition to the top 3 we normally interview. Watching these guys work their way around the high banks of Talladega, let's talk about Talladega Motor Speedway. That's not Talladega, that's Talladega. 4 turns, 2.5 miles long, 540 feet above sea level, and 103-degree track temperature to start out the evening. And the winds from the southeast clipping at about 5 to 4 miles an hour. They are some strong winds here tonight here, and it should be some great racing. This will actually maybe help these drivers down the backstretch, probably hurt them down the front stretch a little bit.
Yeah, fun, quick little fact here if you don't know how big Talladega is. Navy-wise, let's take it to aircraft carriers. You can fit about 11 aircraft carriers inside the center of Talladega.
That's a lot.
Well, Matt, I think this is the first time we've seen the one Savage-driven motorsports team of Robert McFarland up on the pole position. Guy likes to mix it up during the race, but here at Dega gets to take it away from the pole. Ronald Klein, veteran racer on the outside. I'm going to say the outside goes first. Even with Chief Shaw, I don't think those two drivers have met enough on the track, the 1 and 05, to be successful here early on.
Pace car getting ready to go down here as we get ready to go racing. Here we go, folks, as we get ready, coming through the tri-oval. And remember, Talladega start-finish line going into 1 and 2. Green flag, we're racing. 70 laps of action coming at you.
Richardson moves down.
Great start there by Ronald Klein. So Klein got away pretty good. He'll jump down to the bottom. Mitch Reeves in tow behind him. That leaves Browder and Richer up alone on that high line. They're all alone up there. They got no help. And Robert McFarland, your pole sitter, he sits stuck there on the bottom in 3rd place.
Yeah, it's still not a bad place to be, Matt, early on. McFarland or Chief, I don't know which one bent the wrong way. Looks like the 05 getting out of position really quickly. Not needed. He'll get a bumper the wrong way if he does that too many times.
Yeah, Chief Shaw now up to the top of the racetrack, and he'll try and run with that three-truck group, if you will. The question is, how does he run with them? How well will he run with them? We'll see how that all plays out, but Ronald Klein out in front at 2 laps in here tonight, and they are already trying to form up side by side. Look at that 3-car group on the high side. Usually we don't see these small groups work too well here at Talladega anymore, not in the bigger cars, but they're still good in the trucks. You got 3-truck breakaway, and it looks like Chief Shaw might be en route to leading his first lap of the evening here tonight. Might be one of his first laps led of the season. I'll verify that in a moment. But, yeah, he's right there on the high side. Got some nice help going. Got 2 more trucks coming in tow with him. And they're starting to clip pretty nicely on the high side.
Yeah, that's Josh Scott and Nick Zotner. Oh, Josh Scott wanted to go 3 wide. Zotner's going to stick with Ray Richer.
Yep. Zotner's still with Richer. Scott tried to go to the top.
They're pushing it all in the wrong places early on that outside line if they want to get the 05 to the front. Right now, 0276, that's Ronald Klein, Mitchell Reeves, teammates of Over the Top.
Oh, Robert McFarland all the way down to the bottom. He's had enough up front. He said, thank you, I'll come again later. A little too early. I guess he decided for them to be racing like that, and I don't necessarily disagree with them. They're racing like it's the final lap up here, but look who's gone to the lead. Chief Shaw now out in front. He might lead his 2nd lap of the season. He led 1 lap at Auto Club.
Oh, that's the way to do it. If you're going to lead anywhere, you want to lead at Dega, but the push in the tri-oval on the bottom might be successful. I don't know.
I don't think so.
Shaw.
Oh, Ronald Klein.
Just at the last, if that was the ending of a race.
That would have been one of the best endings I've ever seen.
Yeah, that was a last-second push from teammates. So, on the outside, people learning one another. On the bottom, successful teammates.
Yeah, that is for sure. Well, I'd be happy to be with Browder behind me. Travis is a great driver and very good at the super speed, but really good anywhere you put him, much like the real driver of that 18 machine. So if I were Chief, I'd be happy to have that 18 behind me. But yeah, those teammates, Ronald Klein and Mitchell Reeves, Over the Top Motorsports, they work together just a little bit better.
Yep, and I haven't seen anyone wanting to break the tandem of the top 4. Jeremy Crandall's there. Ray Richer maybe could push a little bit more, but, you know, he's laying off the 18 just in case. There goes Chief Shaw to the lead. Is he going to dive to the bottom?
Yes, he does. Does he go with Browder, though? Yes, he does.
Browder squeezed that spot, though.
He barely got in there, but the important thing is he got there. Now, Chief Shaw going to be able to click off some laps led, hopefully. Remember, like I said, this is literally the 2nd lap of the entire season that he's led. He led a single lap at Auto Club opening night for 2019 winter season.
It
but
can
now
be a little bit
he's
of
a
a
man out in front.
Up there.
I would not want to be leading this race this early on.
Well, I've always figured it's safer out front as long as you got a good pusher, and he does with Browder, but Chief may be a little bit less inexperienced inside this league with the drivers behind him. They could do something crazy that could upset the 05 machine.
Yeah, and, you know, he's usually more of a mid-pack driver, a little bit different for him being the man out in front leading the train. So that's got to be something he's got to get a little bit used to as well, having to help Browder, let him manage his car and manage his temperatures. That's going to be a big thing for that 05 car.
76 pulled away from his teammate, Matt. Now going to hook up with Ray Richer. Mitch stays at the bottom, so Ray Richer's going to have to push the 76.
Ronald Klein almost got stuck in the middle there. He might get stuck in the middle. If I were Ray, I'd get in line with Ron and make something happen. We saw those small groups can work pretty well, and I know they can work pretty well, but I don't want to see, you know what I mean?
Yeah, I mean, you know, knock on wood right here.
I don't want to see an early crash.
No, they're doing fine. We want to talk about, you know, competitive racing, who's next to who. We don't want to, you know, be doing too many driver interviews as much as I like to do them, man. It's just We're at Dega. We want to see some tough racing. And there goes Brad Ream split in the middle almost.
Yeah, how about Zach McSwain? I want to give a shout out to this driver in the 091. I watch him, Wednesday and Friday on dirt, and he's one of the best dirt drivers we got, and now he's shown himself to be pretty great on the asphalt as well in that 31 truck, right there in 9th place.
Yep. I think that's a 31. It might be 091.
091. I'm sorry. That is the 091. My bad.
Possible pass for the lead here. Jeremy Crandall going to get it.
Crandall, yep. So Crandall's got the lead, and he's got to figure out where he wants to go. He can't go back up top. He doesn't want to be stuck in the middle, though.
Well, that's going
to slow down the high line. Yep.
Yep.
That's going to cause a lot of issues for those high line drivers. That might actually force them 3 wide a little bit further back of them. Luckily, they all stay single file. Want to give a shout out to Donald Saldusky in the chat. Hey, Donald, how you doing? Been a while since I've seen your name, but glad to see you again. Hope you're doing well.
I really think, they're an inch away from disaster at some points, but then
you're watching it, and it's a wide track. That's the good thing. If this was Daytona, it would be a little bit of a different story. Now, one thing that I'm concerned about, look at the lap truck.
Yeah, I see Kevin Winter and maybe Randy Arms had maybe a little bit of trouble getting into the server or whatnot. That might be Kevin Winter. No, that's Mark Jackson.
Yeah, that's Jackson. Number 3 Navy machine. I think that's a Navy truck.
No, he's got a nice little checkered pattern out there.
Yeah, he'll hold high, though. Good on him.
Yeah, first car 1 lap down. Good place to be here at Talladega.
Yeah, side by side for the lead. Crandall leads his 3rd lap of the evening, and it is Mitchell Reeves in 2nd. Crandall again dropping to the bottom. He seems indecisive about where he wants to be. I feel like you really want to kind of stick to one line, and he upset the kind of 05 there. A little bit of a wiggle out of Chief Shaw.
Yeah, Chief. Like I said, Chief's kind of new to the league, and obviously super speedway racing is very particular. Me, I don't like, being out in front and being pushed because I'm a little bit wobbly on the wheels at that time. I think Chief may be the same way. Sometimes you can follow the guy in front of you into disaster as Chief moves to the outside.
Yeah, that is for sure. And I'm watching Ronald Klein there, and it looks like he's thinking about making a 3 wide breakaway. He thought better of it, though, but, he was looking. And I'm thinking, man, if they go 3 wide, it's a little too early for that, and I don't think it would end too well.
Yeah, we are above and beyond where I thought we would be at this point. Good for the admins to get on those drivers. There is 2, maybe 3 distinct packs already out there. 70% fuel load, I believe, tonight. 15 incident limit. 0 fast repairs. So John is going to be in our ear quite shortly within the next, I would guess, 9 laps or 9 to 12 laps about pit stops.
Yeah, most likely as we're watching these guys go around here. Well, here's my question. When do you think we'll see the caution flag fly? I know it's bound to happen at some point.
Well, that second line has finally caught the lead line, and they are mixing it up pretty well up front. And it's successful so far, so I don't want to discourage them from doing the same over and over again, mixing it up front, seeing new drivers lead, that sort of thing. But they got to be mindful of someone who might get a run coming up here shortly.
Yeah, look at Crandall there, still on the bottom, still doing everything he can, doing things really nicely at the moment on that bottom lane. He's got Browder hooked up with him now. Travis Browder, I guess, kind of just going to stick with that bottom line. Can't blame him. Bottom line seems to be a nice place to be. And good on Mark Jackson as well, in a pretty safe spot, I'd say. He's actually in position to get the wave around.
I think we saw the same thing with Mark Jackson last week, or the last points race we did, Matt, at New Hampshire, where he had a late start and had to get back on the lead lap.
Now, of course, that's contingent on a caution flag flying. That's the only problem there.
And Mark's probably, if he was up front on the lead lap, I would say he'd be one of the favorites to win this race early on.
Yeah, without a
all
doubt.
Drivers.
Well, that's a good question. Who would your pick to win this race be from what we've seen so far tonight?
I mean, I think saying what you said at the beginning of the race, Mitch Reeves is probably the safe guy. We're always going to see him up front. Browder is one of the guys that could win any race. Seems to be doing better on this last half of races that we've seen as the 05 goes back down to the bottom, takes the lead. I don't know. I think those are safe picks of what we've already seen up front. I would like to see the 73 machine. He's right there. He's our Saturday sponsor. He's rolling around in points from time to time. He needs a win. I don't think he's ever had a loose Lugnuts win, and neither has Chief Shaw.
Yeah, I was about to say, don't forget the 05.
There's a lot of guys that could get their first win inside of loose Lugnuts right here tonight at Dega.
My pick, if you're asking me, I hands down, I got to go with the 05. Got to go with Chief Shaw. From what I've seen tonight, he's, you say he's new to somewhat new to the league, and he is. I think last season was his first full season in the 005. And, I got to say, from what I've seen tonight, looks like he's been racing these guys for a while. Oh, big crash. That was Josh Scott.
23 machine. Well, I have to go back and look at it. He disappeared on my end, Matt. But
yeah,
I don't have the best internet.
No, he wrecked so hard he blinked out. It looks like Zach McSwain made bad contact with him.
Viewing it on
McSwain
my end,
hit him
Matt,
in the wrong end.
Yeah, there was a car on the bottom. They were going through the tri-oval there. I don't know. I wouldn't call it bad contact. Just inopportune contact. It looked like a square hit, Matt.
Maybe net code then? I'm not entirely sure.
Yeah, I'm not sure either. Before he disappears on my end, I don't know what you're seeing. Like, he makes the contact, turns right, and disappears.
Yeah.
That's what I've seen.
Yeah, that's what I saw.
It looks like a square hit. It just happens to be maybe when he's a little bit more left on the wheel. It's definitely maybe a little bit left, but not, on the left side of the bumper fully.
Well, this allows Mark Jackson to get the wave around. He'll get the lucky dog, driver of the 3 machine.
I will say this is not what the 73, the 05, the guys we haven't seen up front running.
No, they did not want to see this.
They wanted green flag pit stops. They wanted to mix it up as long as they could up front. Here's where strategy and teammates come into effect. 7602.
Now, what I was saying about Chris Shaw, the way we've been seeing him run tonight, he's running this like a professional at these tracks. He seems like, and I hope I'm not jinxing him, but he's running it just exactly like he needs to be. He's being smart. He's being conscious of what he's doing. I feel like he's got a great strategy going, and if things fall his way tonight, I really do think we'll see the 05 Chris Shaw get his first win tonight, and I'd love to see that car go to victory lane. I really would.
All right. Well, John, we'll turn it over to you as we head into pit road. You let us know who you're looking at.
Well, I'm going to keep an eye on the leaders here, see what their strategy is. If they take tires, just fuel. We'll see how that goes with the new tire model that just introduced this week. We'll see what everybody plans on doing.
Yeah, I got the top 5 boxes looking at here myself, John. It'd be interesting to see if they want to skip above that 05 with a 2-tire or 0-tire stop like you mentioned.
That's exactly what I think everyone's planning on doing. They want that track position. It's the almighty track position.
Well, John, what did you see out there? I think the 2-tire thing was the key there for some of those teams.
I agree. Everyone's looking at it the same way I was. You want to get in front of everybody you can, have the best track position possible, because you can control your own destiny in the front.
It looked like Mitch Reeves. I don't even think he took any tires. He was out and away instantly.
Well, if there's one track, Matt, that we don't really need, I wouldn't say need. If you're in a green-white checkered and you're coming into that, I would just take tires.
Yeah, that's the way it's always been historically here at Talladega on iRacing, but I don't know if that's the way it's going to continue to be, so it'll be interesting to see how it all plays out. Well, speaking of historical and Talladega, let's talk about some quick track facts presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs. Talladega was opened in 1969. Track records held by Bill Elliott with what I think was, 211 miles per hour, 215 miles an hour, something like that.
1988 or 87 there?
I want to say 88. But those are your two quick little track facts for Talladega. This track was built to be a successor well, not necessarily successor, but a bigger version of Daytona and a faster version of Daytona. And boy, is it ever, and it produces some of the best racing, both in the real world and in the simulated world. So I think we're in store for a really great race here when we go back to Green Flag Racing. Speaking of before we go back to Green Flag Racing, Jeff, anyone you want to talk to?
Well, no, I'm going to let them settle through the first. This is where I want them to settle down. We've had our first caution. It didn't look to be a big caution. There was a big hit from the 23, obviously. Looks like we got Kevin Winter maybe serving a penalty or choosing to take extra pits there. But, I wanted to get back with John real quick. You mentioned the new tire model for the tracks. Do you have any updated information on that?
I know that they updated a patch yesterday. I do not know much more beyond that. The super speedways were not showing wear the way that they should. It looks like that we'll get our first glimpse at seeing if that actually has any play or effect on it today.
All right. Yep. So maybe a question in the future for those drivers might, if they want to share that information, would be to ask if the percentage. And you know what? We got such a long track. I'm going to go ahead and take that interview, and it's going to be with the 05 of Chris Shaw. Let's see if we can get an interview with him. Chief, you got a copy?
10-4.
All right. Well, you haven't led too many laps this season, but now you have, running 5 to 6 laps up front, leading this race. Guys taking some maneuvers on pit road to get around you. You're going to be starting, I believe, 4th or 5th here. Tell us what you got to do to get back out front, because you look, quite comfortable up there.
I think the high line is actually going to prevail tonight. They just get a better run coming out of the corners. So, if possible, I'm going to jump in that high lane and just try and work my way back up to the front.
Well, we've tumbled around the idea. We know you're semi-new to the league and maybe haven't worked with every driver. Working with who you did out there out front, were you comfortable pushing? Running up front obviously is 10 times better, but were you comfortable with the guy behind you, or were you comfortable pushing someone in front of you too?
Actually both. I mean, even though I'm new to these guys, racing's racing. Don't matter who's in front of you, who's behind you. Just keep your line and push them to the front, or just get pushed and just work your way up.
All right, still a ton of racing to go. We got about 50 laps left when we go back green. You think we're going to see 10 lap runs, or you think we're going to finally get a green flag pit stop here at Dega?
That's hard to say. I mean, it's 50-50 on that one. I've seen it where we've gone green flag runs here, and we've also gone 10 laps. So we'll see. Hopefully we can keep it clean and just keep going straight and get some green flag runs in.
Last question, because I think we're going to get the one to go here. We were just talking about, before we brought you up, the new tire wear model here on iRacing. Do you have the percentages available to you that you could?
I do. I was reading 100% all across the board, so
wow.
No, tires don't really matter here at Talladega, but yeah, I was running 100%.
After 12 laps of green flag racing, or 15 laps of green flag racing, you were 100% on all 4 tires.
That's correct.
Wow. That's something to talk about, but we'll let you get back down your team there, and we'll hopefully see you towards the end of the race, Chris.
Thanks.
Should be some pretty great racing when we go back to green flag. What do you expect to see on this next run here, Jeff?
I don't know. I'm going to revert back what John said, that they were messed up on the before the patch on these super speedways. I still would say, John, they were messed up.
100%, I'd agree. Well, no pun intended with the 100% there, but yeah, it looks like they haven't fully worked out all the bugs for these super speedway races yet.
Well, hopefully, because I know Chief Shaw took 4 tires there up front. I hope he realizes what he just said and keeps, I would stick with the same tires, just fuel and go on pit road.
Yeah, it really looks like it's not going to matter that much if that is indeed the tire wear, but we'll see once they get rolling here.
Right now, getting ready to go green. Once again, Mitchell Reeves is your leader. Looks very similar to how we started here tonight. Mitch and Ron up front.
And they got a teammate there now, Nick Zontner.
Pace truck down. I'll let you get the green here, Jeff.
All right. Well, yeah, I wish it was the pace truck, but it's the pace car. Ugly looking Mustang down and away. Mitch Reeves has the option of fire before the start finish line if he wants to. It is really not needed here at Talladega. 9 o'clock on the Eastern Seaboard.
Believe it or not, I still haven't set that clock back. It's reading 10.
Yeah, well, it's 3 minutes late, too, but here we go back to green as needed. They're going to be bunched up here. We'll see what happens. I think Nick Zontner may have left a little bit of space up front for Ronald Klein to dive down. Yes, they did. I knew that was going to happen. They're going to leave the 05 up there with Travis Browder, who has successfully already pushed Chris Shaw to the front.
Yeah, he's got Richer and Browder, and he's got, looks like, Kendall Shaw up there as well, that 06 machine, so that'll be a pretty good combination. Now, what's the relationship between those two? I keep forgetting what it is.
Kendall's the father.
That's right. I wanted to say it was a father-son, and I didn't remember which one was which. So yeah, you got Kendall Shaw in that group too. So he'll definitely be helping. Now, wouldn't that be something? I know the chances of it happening aren't the greatest in the world, but that would be awesome. If
we haven't seen a 1-2 father-son combination for a long time, probably since the Covingtons were racing here at Loose Lugnuts.
Yeah, we got Craig back. Yeah, we got somewhere. Craig. He's somewhere. I know he's there. I know I said him in the I know you said him in the line. Yeah, he's 31st right now in the 96.
He's a slow worker. He's been racing here at Loose Lugnuts Racing back in our short track days. Had to tumble through that with us, worked ourselves into trucks, and obviously now to what we are here today at Loose Lugnuts. So Craig will work his way through the field. If he's not involved in an incident, he'll probably finish top 15.
Yeah, it'll be great to see him up there. And yeah, he always does usually finish pretty decently. But yeah, wouldn't that be something if we see Chris and Kendall 1-2 here tonight? I don't know if that'll happen. I know the chances are very hard, especially in a super speedway. But I mean, hey, that would be awesome.
Yeah.
Chris looks back like out in front.
A little bit of a mix-up here coming. Kevin Winter is rolling around there. Donahue looks like the one of Robert McFarland trying to fight his way back up. Outside line, really strong, but they're really wiggly on that wheel.
Yeah, that's the problem. They're wibbling and wobbling around, and that's going to hurt them. It looks like Chief goes to the bottom.
He leaves that 18 every time, and that hurts Browder. I think
I wouldn't leave him out there because, I mean, Browder's working with him. Browder's a good pusher, too. That's the thing.
Yeah, I think look at Mitch Reeves go up and say, well, I'll take that push. Browder's got to stop being nice at some point. He's got to stop leaving that gap.
And Mitch is going to lead this lap.
Yep, I think Chief...
and there you go.
Oh, wow. Yep, Browder... Oh, he
really... And Browder really forced the issue there and almost caused a big stack up. Browder has to go back to the top line. Couldn't make it work on the bottom. That was really dicey. And you saw the effects of that further back. They all wobbled around.
Oh!
Contact.
And that...
Reckon.
I saw 2 motors go. I think Donahue was one of them.
Yep, I think, Murray was a piece of it. Murray got involved.
See, John?
One guy just got out of line, got a little loose, and, well, couldn't save it in front of everybody.
Looked like Robert McFarlane racing with the 78 of Kevin Winter. McFarlane, contact with Winter, contact with Zauntner, spun up into Winter over Brad Ream.
Lucky. Oh, Brad Ream did. I don't know if it was Ream's motor that went there or if it was McFarlane, but Ream got a huge front end damage.
Where did Murray get a piece of that? Because Brandon Hunter Murray, that number 2 machine, the Blue Deuce, got a piece of that.
Is he going to the principal's office? Jeez, Brandon Hunter Murray.
He got a piece of it right there. Oh, he spun out all by himself. He locked it up. He was trying to, you watch here. And you see what happens. He locked it. Oh, he got contact from behind. With his teammate there. Contact from his teammate actually spun him out as they were trying to lock it up for the crash. And that's unfortunate for Murray. That'll be a lot of damage. That'll be a lot of aerodynamic damage. You look at the back of that 2 machine there.
Well, I say it now. We're our but race number 6, and I'm gonna go down, and if I don't have everything on my desktop here, here's my schedule. Talladega is race number 7. We have 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 before our next drop race. So about halfway to the next drop race, you can't afford too much points differential, especially here at Talladega. And we knew it was going to happen. It's going to provide this gap difference for some drivers inside our top 20 in points.
Hopefully that was the big one and we don't have a wreck bigger than that tonight.
Yeah, that's what I'm hoping. John, what do you see on the pits?
Looks like all the leaders just coming in to top off. 0-2 is leaving first, Mitchell Reeves, followed by Shaw. And it looks like everyone's just doing a stop and go with some fuel.
All right. I think I saw 05 successfully take our on-air, what's the word I'm looking for, reference here about his 100% tire model there. I'm going to interview someone different this time around and see what their tires are saying if we are unfortunately in that need for an update coming up probably this weekend. So watch out, drivers, if you're re-listening to this race. More updates concluded, especially after that. I mean, I know my internet's slow, but I think that was a huge update, and I think we'll have more to come. I don't know. Let's see. Kyle Chadwick, I'm going to bring up the 88 machine just because you like the paint on that car, Matt.
Yeah, that thing's beautiful. He's got that kind of matte finish, but with like a almost semi-gloss on the blue.
Gotta find him here. Absolutely full here on TeamSpeak. Oh, he's all alone, that's why. Well, Kyle Chadwick, you got a copy?
I do.
Well, your only teammate down, unfortunately, with the first caution. Second caution already out. You're moving yourself up 29th to 7th. I'm guessing no qualifying was just an attempt to see what the field would do. Am I correct?
Yeah, I'm actually planning on going back to the back, too.
All right. Well, you still think it's early on to race up to the front? Obviously, it is. It's a 70-lap race here tonight, so you're still waiting to make the move. Do you want to lose that first pack that much, though?
Not as much as I did. I was expecting an earlier caution, but I got kind of lucky with that caution to come out while I was on pit road getting the gas there, so it worked out.
All right. Well, 88 machine still looking to bounce back from short track racing points wise. After that last run, we had the first caution we saw our leader say that he still had 100% on his tire model. Are you seeing the same thing?
Yeah, I just ran 22 laps, came in, went to take rights. I had 100 on both sides.
Well, yeah, I think we will successfully say that it is still messed up on the super speedways, the tire model. Obviously that's going to affect your pit strategy. here towards the end of the race. I think it's safe to say a stop and go, as long as that holds, is the right call.
Yeah, I mean, unless it's just reading wrong on the bottom, but I'm not sure.
Well, yeah, that could be something too. Does it feel different? Obviously, I haven't been up to speed yet, but do you feel the difference, or is it just not that noticeable on a super speedway?
Yeah, it's not noticeable when I'm all the way back there. I don't think it's that noticeable anyway. I think it's more air.
Well, all right, Kyle Chadwick. Like I said, we mentioned you at the top of the cast here about being right outside the top 10. You want to successfully make it to the top 10 yet again. Good luck with that, with the points wise. We'll hopefully talk to you at the end of the night.
All right, thank you.
All right, as we get ready to go back to racing in just a moment. Well, one big crash so far. Hopefully we don't have another. You think we will?
Unfortunately, Matt. There's a lot of tough racing, and there's a couple guys out front, mostly Third Rock Racing out front right now. Keith Haney, Brian Abbott, James Haney. That's about the full team there out front, choosing to forego it. I'm worried, John. Kyle Chadwick brought up a good thing. Maybe it's just, the screen that's saying it's 100% and it's stuck there. Wouldn't that be something else if you were running like 20% tire at the end of the race?
Yeah, it would.
Well, all I can say is I really hope I wouldn't be the one that finds that out if I'm leading the race.
Yeah, and I think guys are making that move. I know Keith Haney listens from time to time when we're doing live. We offer a little bit of tidbit of information, obviously, beyond calling the race. Justin Michaels the same way. He listens from time to time live, whatever delay we're on. But still, it might be a key factor towards the end of the race if we end up with these 10 to 15 lap introverts of yellow flags. It's still, we saw Chris Shaw successfully take that on-air advice and go with no tires. The rest of the field has to catch up with that type of thinking. I don't think they're sharing that information too well.
I'd agree with that assessment. I don't think anybody wants to share anything. They want to win at Talladega. It's one of the bigger races of the years. So I absolutely understand why they wouldn't want to share it. But one thing I think we should ask is if someone gets in a wreck, see what their tires look like when they spin. See if that's updated when they do that.
That would be a good thing. We'll have to get to that. I think the last one we saw is Brandon Murray still on the field.
Yeah, Brandon Murray with a lot of damage as well. Hopefully he got some of that repaired. But without the aid of a fast fix, without the aid of the fast fix, though, he'll have still some of it. You can see the spoiler's still a little bit bent on the back of that 2 machine.
2 tracks, Matt, that you can get a lot of damage repaired at, Dega and Pocono. So you're at the one of the 2 tracks that a lot of space in between the pace car passing you on pit road.
Yeah, that is for sure. As we get ready to go back to Green Flag Racing, 28 laps in. And we will have 43 to go when we go green. So the race actually starting to wind down here tonight.
I hope the drivers don't take the wind down mentality either. It feels like it though, Matt, but they still have a ton of racing ahead of them. If we wind down that mentality, we'll start to see quick yellows. And I hope the racers don't get into that rut.
Yeah, I was about to say, if they do, it could prove disastrous because there could be very big crashes very quickly in rapid succession. Here we go, coming to the green, waiting for it, and green flag, racing again, big wiggle. I don't know what happened to Brian Abbott.
Tire spin, and that goes back, and John's probably right. We need to ask these guys when they go sideways down the backstretch if they're seeing difference. It may just be the tire model screen.
Yeah, I got a feeling that tire model screen might be the problem, not the tires themselves. That would be a big problem.
82 to the lead. Wow, they're racing like it's the last
Abbott
lap
doesn't know
front.
where he wants to go. That's a problem, especially out front like that.
Mitch Reeves down at the bottom, and look who's out front there with them. Mark Jackson finally on the lead lap towards the front of the field.
Yeah, we saw what indecisiveness caused last time. That was, I want to say, that was the chain reaction of events that caused the wreck with McFarland, and hopefully not another one. Chief Shaw further back. He's got his father there behind him. 29 in now.
Mark Jackson to the lead. 1 lap down, all the way to the front. There goes Ronald Klein now to the bottom. 1, 2, 3 on the inside is Over the Top Motorsports. Ray Richer holding steady on the outside. He may be a good interview coming up because, he hasn't moved from that spot.
Yeah, right now, Mark Jackson, he came from last to the lead. How about that?
He does win the big races, though, Mark Jackson.
He might win this one. He might win this one. I got to say, I am impressed by that. He has come from dead last, a lap down, to leading here at Talladega.
I'm looking over to see where he is in points. I know he didn't get to the trucks quickly, but has been moving up the standings. 38 with no top 10 finishes in the truck. So this is his 4th race on the year for the trucks. He's wanting a win, and it would really boost his points.
And right here, 3 wide. You got a third line forming. And it looks like Jeffrey Merck. Merck's on the bottom. Who's on that top line? It's Randy Arms. How about him? And yeah, he's got, iRacing's introduced these new spec maps. And man, have they made these trucks look good. Look at Randy Arms. He's got that combination matte chrome. And oh man, does it look good. He's got that chrome red and then just a flat matte black on that truck. I love that paint scheme. I think that truck wins favorite paint scheme, in my opinion.
Yeah, I know John Hedrick from Over the Top Motorsports and Over the Top Paints and Designs is out there on YouTube listening in from, I believe, work this evening. He can probably tell you how difficult it's been to learn that new design and trying to put very nice looking basic cars together so far that I've seen on Facebook. So go check it out, Over the Top Paints and Designs Facebook page.
Yeah, I'm just going to put a little close-up here just for a second. Look at that 83 truck. I mean, I just love that. And hats off to iRacing for letting us have this and letting these painters really unleash their creativity. Because you get some beautiful-looking paints. And that matte black just, it looks real, and the chrome looks real. It's just brilliant.
Yeah, well, now all Randy Arms has to do to impress that paint scheme even further is to get it to Victory Lane.
Yeah, I'm about to say, put it in Victory Lane, yeah. And speaking of that paint scheme, the sponsor on the hood, Octane Race Products. Don't forget, vote for the Octane Race Products Driver of the Day Award. Put the driver name or number of the driver you want to vote for. Driver at the end of the race with the most votes gets interviewed by the American Sim Network at the end of the race.
Brandon Murray may be dragging the wall there. It looks like he's going to fall really far back. I'm not sure what maneuver got him into the wall there. But inside line dominating so far. Ray Richer not finding a
that
teammate.
2 car is just very ill handling. That 2 car is very ill handling ever since that crash.
Yeah, that may have been a factor too. Third line still trying to form with Randy Arms, but he's not getting much help outside of teammates.
Look at Shaw there on the top lane. Or middle lane now.
Unfortunately, I don't think the 05 and the 06 there match up very well with their styles of racing.
Yeah, no, they weren't working too great together. Now, I noticed you got James and Keith Haney. What's their relation? Brothers, right?
Yeah, I believe actually James's father. To Keith.
Oh.
I could be wrong. Keith will correct me eventually enough. If we know it on the YouTube chat, correct me now.
Look at that.
Randy Arms. What a run.
I'm about to say, look at that 2-car tandem. It's Zach McSwain and Randy Arms. And they are 4 wide for the race lead. Coming to the start-finish line, Randy Arms leads that lap. How about that? Imagine if that was the finish we were racing for here.
They would probably be a little bit more sideways if that was the finish.
Yeah, probably. I'm amazed they weren't sideways there. 4 wide to the line.
new contender on the outside, Chris Shaw, says he wants more of it.
He wants a piece of it.
Unfortunately, I don't think diving down to the second line from the third line is a good move in any way.
I don't think being 3 wide is a good move, but look at this. We got the 68, Brandon Thornhill, trying to join the party.
Yep,
I don't like it. I do not like seeing these guys 3 wide right now. It's too dangerous. These guys, because think about it. If Randy Arms gets something to go wrong and we get a crash, that's almost the entire field wiped out in one crash.
Yep, they're dicing there.
I don't like it.
They went 2 lanes down to the lead. There goes Randy Arms and Zach McSwain to the lead. Great move. Incredibly dangerous, but great move.
Yeah, somehow they made it work. They made it work.
They consistently do it. I think Zach McSwain has been the most improved driver here in Loose Lugnuts Racing as of late. And Randy Arms, obviously one of those top 5 drivers consistently.
Yeah, Zach McSwain, great on dirt. Great to see him doing good on asphalt as well. And Randy Arms, of course, just a consistent great driver. Now out front with that coal-powered machine. 36 laps in.
I want to see what Ray Richard can do on the outside. This is, I think, the closest he's been to the front on the outside. Other drivers behind him definitely want to get back to the lead. Browder is one of those guys that needs to get to the lead. Crandall, Shaw, they've all done it from the high side. But Ray Richard, the guy that has not moved from that top, is now leading the outside run.
Yeah, I don't think Ray has led a lap here. No, he's led 1 lap here tonight. Will he lead a second? That's the real question.
Ray's content until the end of the race. He's going to make his moves at the end to benefit himself, obviously, as any other driver would. But, you know, he's got a fast truck. He can work well with other people. He's probably going to lead this lap here.
And right now, 38 laps into this race at the stripe, these guys are doing a great job keeping it clean, but man, is it getting risky up front. I'll tell you what.
Yeah, they're getting bunched up. This is where we saw that first run, Matt. We're in that, you know, momentum of where I started to notice the what I would call scary racing, or, you know, that knee-jerk reaction. There goes Ray Richard. Wow, late move.
Right to the bottom. He wants to lead.
But 73 will overwhelm him next lap, because now the 3-car tandem that we've seen the strongest is going to take over.
So it is still side by side for the lead. Luckily, the 3-wide racing has settled out, at least for the time being, though the question is, will it come back? My bet's going to be yes.
Oh, yeah. If they get settled down again, say, you know, another one of those other flags comes out, they'll definitely go back 3 wide.
And right now, 39 laps in, Jeremy Crandall looking for the race lead. Crandall's around.
3.
Chris Shaw barely got through it. It's big.
The big one.
Browder's on his lid.
I gotta see
The
what
084's
happened,
in it.
I even used euphemisms about the other flag, and they still had to hear it.
And it looks like Justin Michael, 511 sunglasses truck. James Haney, Jeff Merck, Ken Richardson, Nick Zautner. It's a big one.
Well, I mean, go
Brian
back and look
Abbott.
at it. A bump from the 18 of Browder starts this off. And a correction by the 73.
Yep, Crandall just got nudged around. That's hard racing right there. That's hard racing gone wrong is what that is.
Yeah, but you can always tell the tension on the track. Like I said, it was right there. It was feeling the tension.
Yeah. Well, I mean, you saw it when they were racing 3 wide. You saw something was going to happen, and you were just waiting for it to happen, and there it was. In car now with James Haney. Watches the 55 truck. He got a piece of it.
John, any guys that slid their tires there that did not receive damage?
I'm going to go out on a limb and say no, it doesn't look like anybody escaped that without some damage. So we can at least ask some guys once they're on pit road for the repairs.
Yeah, a lot of drivers wrapped up in that crash, unfortunately. That'll be the second big crash of the night. The first one happening with Robert McFarland, though this one taking out significantly more trucks. Luckily, though, the 05 got through that with minimal damage, luckily for him, and I think the 06 did as well.
Yeah, Chief Shaw there definitely got lucky. I think he got some scrapes on that outside. There's definitely going to be a damage model. Same thing for the 61 of Brad Ream. So big flip-flop coming up front. There's going to be some guys, obviously, that took tires last time, staying out now. We'll have to see.
Randy Arms beating everybody off of pit road there.
Justin Michael didn't pit, nor did Voiles, Tierheimer, Haynes, Cleaver, or Smith.
Well, Matt, I think we'll have to see here. I don't know, John, any of those guys that took damage still able to move forward?
Looks like for the most part everyone's either disconnected or they're out rolling right now.
Huh.
Yeah, a lot of drivers in it, a lot of drivers out of it. Unfortunately, you see pit lane littered with these drivers. Thornhill, I didn't think he got a piece of it, but he's stuck on pit lane. I guess he did.
Well, he also got home late in the day for the weekend, as usual for the 68 of Thornhill, so he's probably taking the first bathroom break of the evening.
41 laps in, we're closing in on the end of this race, and the race is getting very aggressive now, folks. Well, Jeff, what's your prediction? Green to the end or not a chance?
I think we can go 10 to 12 laps solid, and then you just feel the tension build. And I've said it twice now. It's just one of those things you can see, feel on the racetrack, viewing it whatever way you want to put it. It's come from the front twice, and which is quite unusual. Usually comes from the middle of the pack, guys dicing it up to get towards the front. But tough racing out front, and some guys lucky to survive the night so far. And you know, we've said big wrecks. They have been, but you know, we've seen 2 wrecks now started with, you know, pushing or a bad bump, and that's a typical thing you would see actually in NASCAR races.
And right now, 41 in, Justin Michael out front. So this will be good for Justin Michael. He's got the race lead. What do you think he'll be able to do to capitalize on it?
I don't know, but that's a good question, and I think the best way to answer that is to go ahead and ask him. So I'm going to bring him on up. All right, 87, Justin Michael, you got a copy?
Yes, sir. How are you?
All right, good to talk to you yet again. Out front, looks like you got a little bit of help there with Chris Voiles. Got some teammates here on Thursday, which is your best teammate day, which, you know, Talladega is teammate racing. 2 points, 3 points needed to get back the lead on points-wise. Obviously, you got to survive to that point. What's going through your head now?
Yeah, I mean, just keeping it clean. We just need to finish in front of Mitchell there and stay in front of everybody else. But I know everybody's got to pit again, so we're just kind of do some pit strategy here. Hopefully it pays off. We'll see. But yeah, everybody's running pretty good up here, so we're just having fun clicking off some laps.
All right. Well, we haven't got the chance to talk to anyone that has received damage tonight, or at least slid the tires, let's say on the back straightaway or during when a caution came out. What's your view on the tire model so far on super speedways? Is it stuck at 100%?
Yeah, I mean, the tire model didn't change for this. It was the Cup cars, but they definitely something happened. I don't know whether maybe they have hard tires now, but they're not wearing at all, and it shows. I mean, you go to the pit stalls and you push brake to the floor, and it stops on a dime. So I'm sure they'll fix that by next week, hopefully.
Yeah. So update incoming. We speculated maybe it's not the tire model itself. We saw some. The Haney group, Third Rock Racing, was out front last time on the restart. They had some tire spin. Could it be just the window that shows the percentage of tires used versus the actual tire wear?
It very well could be, but I mean, to me, the feeling doesn't change no matter what. That's why I think the tire wear is probably there, and if they're getting wheel spin, that tells me it's a hard tire, because they don't have any grip till they heat up. So.
All right. Well, good inside information there. You got the lead. What do you want to see become of your time up front right here, right now, as we go 2x2 with
29 laps of caution would not be a bad thing for me right now. So
you're thinking too much about points, sir.
We're just gonna stay up here as long as we can, pit, and hopefully we keep the lead when we come out. So we'll see what happens.
All right, Justin. We'll hopefully talk to you later.
Thanks, guys.
Double them up and let's go racing again. Jeff Wood will have the green. 43 out of 70 laps in when we go green. We have a total of 28 laps to go. The racing's winding down, but 28 laps, don't be fooled. That is still a lot of time left here at Talladega. A lot of time that anything, and I mean anything, can still happen here tonight.
Yeah. I don't think we're out of the weather here yet. It's raining, it's drizzling, some backwards cars. I think we're going to see at least one more significant caution, unfortunately. And I hate to say it, but the 88 machine is off the speedway. He may have gotten some damage during that last caution.
And right now, 43 laps in. When we go green, I'll turn it over to you, Jeff.
Yep, waiting for that pace car to drop down. Thank you to all the drivers that have been able to share their tire knowledge of the evening. It's good to know with these new builds and new tire models coming out, because all we can do up here is speculate and read what iRacing puts out. It's all about what happens on the track. There goes Justin Michael to a quick green. I don't know if that'll help or hurt the rest of the field. Obviously different from what we've seen the rest of the night, but he has a ton of teammates around him. That could be a successful 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 run for him up front.
Yeah, right now it is all single file. These drivers playing it pretty smart right now.
Yeah, and like I said, Justin Michael, Tierheimer, Boyles, Haynes, Cleaver, I think even Johnny Smith may be in the same TeamSpeak channel. So top 5 under a blanket, talking to one another, rolling around this track now up front.
And right now, 44 laps in. Looks like Randy Arms there trying to make that high line work for him. And he's with Zach McSwain and Mark Jackson. Maybe they'll make something happen, but might be a little bit risky to go racing again,
Yeah, that top 5 line, bottom line should have probably spread out as soon as they saw a second line for him. They're going to definitely lose the lead because Randy Arms has a head of steam with Zach McSwain. They're going to wait to be 1-2 out front. Mark Jackson wants to be with this crew, but I don't think they're going to take him with them.
And you can see here it is Randy Arms. I don't know why I keep saying Ray Richard. But you can see Randy Arms there. Looks like he's going to get the race lead if he can kind of clear Justin Michael.
He doesn't want to go without his teammate, his pusher behind him, Zach McSwain, so they're going to wait for a full opening of 2 trucks right here.
Zach McSwain! That was a risky move right there.
Yeah,
and that's going to cause a lot of problems.
87 was not happy.
I wouldn't be happy either. I'm not happy, and I'm in the booth watching it.
That was too tight of a squeeze.
That was very risky. I know we don't have a lot of racing left, but look at that. That could have caused a big crash right there. You know?
Yeah, I quite agree, Matt. Just did not. They wanted to do it. They just did not do it successfully, and now the 87 has to literally stare back at him. There's no way he's going to press that situation, Justin Michael. He's going to let him know about his unpleasantness of the situation, but beyond that, he doesn't want to wreck the truck.
I'm sure a few words might be exchanged after the race, too, potentially.
Oh, yeah.
Probably none too friendly.
It would be beyond 87 to be displeased with the situation. He's obviously fighting more or less Randy Arms himself, minus a few points, but the 0-2 of Mitchell Reeves. Now, if Justin Michael were to wreck out right now, he would be really ticked off that Randy Arms and the rest of the guys with points were still in the race.
Now look who's just kind of staying right around the front of the field, that 3 truck. Mark Jackson doing a good job.
He is going to be there at the end. Barring, not being there at the end, obviously. But Mark Jackson, an incredible super speedway racer. I think he's really good at Dover. Michigan coming up at the season end. He's really good there. So the 3 Machine has a lot of races ahead of him that he could win, and Talladega is one of them.
And side by side, Randy Arms on the bottom. Now, is that cloud cover over the racetrack, or is the sun actually going down? I can't quite tell, but if that's not cloud cover, they're racing the daylight, too.
I believe, and I would hope it would be cloud cover. I'm going to go over the info tab real quick, Matt, and see maybe time of day starting. Right now, it's reading just after 1700, so 5 p.m. Central Time in Dega.
And if that's going for the fall, that might not be cloud cover.
I don't think they're that. I think they don't do daylight saving times. Maybe they do. I hope they don't. Maybe they're stuck on Arizona and Tennessee time.
Yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens. Hopefully it's just cloud cover and we get a little bit of sunlight back.
Yeah, they do need that extra heat in the track. It's going to help the tires. I don't know. I say that, and then I remind myself that the tire model might be messed up.
And right now, 49 laps into this race.
Well, Matt, so far, a decent race. Man of the hour is obviously Randy Arms out front, but Mark Jackson probably the story so far tonight. 1 lap down, dead last, starting the field up to the front. So anyone else that gets beyond them will probably make a good cover for some race results.
Yeah, that is for sure.
2, Brandon Murray's back there, still rolling around after some damage. I think he's got that fixed for the most part.
And right now, 50 laps in, we're closing in on just a handful of laps left, but Randy Arms, the man out front. Look at Chief Shaw there with the 16 of Ken Richardson. He's trying to work his way back to the front of the field. There's the sunlight returning.
Yep. Hopefully that was cloud cover. Not quite sure.
Well, I mean, since the sun's coming back, I'm inclined to believe it was. Yeah, it's coming back. It's all clouds. Pit stops. Green flag pit stops. How about that?
Yep. John, take a look there.
Got a few cars coming in, and it's always got to come in a pack.
Who are the guys down?
Let's see, they're all just out of my view here on the end of pit road, but looks like they're actually taking tires under this. So they're just holding themselves a little bit longer. One is moving, couple moving.
I think one of them was at least Justin Michael, the 87, was our leader.
Yep, 87, 75, 199, all heading out. Looks like that's a 55 and 009. 029, I saw him.
Yeah, mostly teammates. That was Kerry Cleaver, the 029. So teammate pit stop for guys that did not stop last time around. Technically, though, if a yellow were to come out anytime soon, they would still be under the good condition of not needing gas.
Correct, they should be able to make it to the end.
I don't know if I agree with the short pit stops, though. Even under green flag conditions, run it till it's empty and then hope a yellow doesn't come out, and that's my opinion.
Yeah, but if you run green to the end, short pitting might not be a horrible idea.
Yeah, especially with the unknown tire model, the unknown tire wear, and the unknown yellow flag that might come out.
18 more times around. They're passing Brian Abbott in the 82. Will be a lap down.
If they short pit here and then they get the rest of the field to mix up their pit stops. If you have a trickle of cars down pit road each time, those guys that short pitted there on that last lap are geniuses. But if this whole group comes together, they're still going to be faster on the speedway.
Yeah, right now 17 at the stripe, and they're starting to race like it's 17 to go. Driver's getting a little bit dicey again, and I don't know. I know we got a handful of laps to go, but, maybe save it for 10 to go. You know what I mean? I just don't want to see another big one. I don't want to see this front group get taken out.
Matt, you're already starting to feel the tension. I think it's starting to build, too. It started with the pit stop. Guys who got that in their head, they're probably clicking over onto their fuel, wondering what's going on there, that type of deal. So maybe a little bit of distraction out on the field.
And right now, 16 at the stripe. They got lap cars coming up. They're coming up on... Do we have two 091s in the field? Or no, that's the 096, Johnny Smith, and then the Kerry Cleaver.
Yeah, 091 itself is Zach McSwain rolling around second, third at the moment.
So there's just a handful of laps to go now with a lot of action still to unfold. When do you think we see these leaders down pit lane?
As late as possible. That's got to be the call.
Once you start sputtering.
Yeah, I would say it's difficult to gauge at Talladega. A mile and a half track, you get you got 2 laps left. Technically, you probably go 3 laps. If you're at the line at Talladega and it says you have 2 laps of gas left, you're going to have to pit next time. If you got, 2 laps of gas after the line somewhere, you can probably do an extra lap. Just my experience on racing, at least. At least that's what Wes Holland taught me.
15 laps to go.
Oh, they're getting dicey.
Yeah, I don't like it. I know there's only so much laps to go, but 3 wide, it's still... I'm not going to say it's too early, because it's not, but it's dicey. It's very risky.
The outside line is failing at the moment. I wouldn't say failing, but falling. And they're looking for some door draft, and you see inside line to outside line ducking up to down on the speedway, looking for that extra speed, and when they meet in the middle, that's usually where we find the bad contact.
14 at the stripe here.
This bunched up, they're going to have to call out pits quite early 3
if they
and
do
4.
pit.
Yeah, if they do pit.
I mean, I would assume they're gonna pit.
Well, they have to. From the time we took green flag again
Yeah, I
to the
don't
end
think
of the
they
race,
can.
under green flag conditions, they still have to pit. They're all just waiting to run it out to the utmost, which is, in my mind, the correct call. But again, scary pit stops coming up. Usually the first green flag pit stop's the scariest because you're not sure who you're pitting with. And this is at 1.5 mile tracks too. You just don't know how it feels sometimes under that green flag condition getting down on pit road.
And right now, 13 to go at the stripe. Randy Arms, your leader. These pit stops, as you said, this is going to be the big thing. Will they wreck trying to pit? I've seen it happen, and it can bring out a yellow. That'll be the big thing.
Inside line obviously has
a big advantage.
But there is enough room there on the bottom coming to pit road for the outside line to grab down. It's just they really have to be communicating with the iRacing driver chat. They like to keep it, clean. There it goes. John's going to pick us up now.
Oh, look at Ken Richardson. He's coming in way hot.
Big group here coming in. Looks like they're all going to stop for gas at least.
Richardson was in very hot.
Made up a few positions, though.
We'll see if he gets a penalty out of that. '83 Arms leading them off here. Shaw coming right behind. Group is forming up, and they'll be able to draft their way back onto the track.
Yeah, well, I'm still following the next line probably to come in this time around. There goes Mark Jackson, Ronald Klein, looks
Ray
like
Richer.
Jeff Burke, Ray Richer. The rest of the field minus, 3
Gilmore.
to 5 cars.
Don't forget Gilmore in that group.
Yeah, Gilmore's always an equation at the end, Matt. Yeah, I add him in. He's like the variable at the end of the race. He's in parentheses. He's going to be there.
We'll see how well everybody gets off of pit road here. Everybody making their stops.
Any 4-tire stops out there? Any people taking those 4 that are unneeded, I think?
No one's taking that chance at this stage in the race. They just want to get back out and as quick as possible.
Well, here
Time to go
comes
with the
the
line.
next group. They really waited to the last moment to pit, didn't they?
Yeah, that they did. And, oh, boy. Now,
That's
this is where things
boy.
get dicey.
Yeah, they're 2 by 2.
They came right out in front of a very fast group of cars. They're going to be on the bottom. This is going to be 3 wide, 4 wide. This is going to be everything wide.
Yeah, Chief Shaw chose the bottom. Probably didn't
Come
see
on,
the-
Chief.
Yeah, he's going to lose a lot of speed. He's got to get back to Ken Richardson or stick with Gilmore.
Oh,
Big time
and
wrecking all
there's
through
the
the
big
field.
one.
Oh, 05 with damage. Richardson, we'll have to go back and do that.
Pretty much the whole group. Jeff Merckx in it. Brandon Hunter Murray's in it. Wally Tierheimer. Ronald Klein. And did I not say this is dicey?
I don't know where it really started. Well, I know where it started, but like the initial contact, I'm not really sure.
Brandon
maybe
Murray.
33
Brandon
33 and
Murray.
2, yeah.
That's teammates. Those are teammates getting into each other again. That is the second time tonight. And that is the second time tonight the 33 truck has spun the 2. It happened the first, remember the first crash with the 2 truck was the 33.
Maybe the 33 is a Bama fan.
Maybe. But yeah, those are teammates colliding right into Randy Arms, another teammate. That's an entire team pretty much taken out in one crash.
Boy, I'm wondering, because I called it the 05 with damage because I was just viewing them trying to get back up to the lead, but who in that lead pack? Keith Haney has damage. God, I think he almost blew a motor there.
That
Justin
entire
Michael,
lead pack got into it. Jeff Gilmore got through it.
I think the only one that got through was Zach McSwain. He seemed to get through there without incident, too.
And Gilmore, because here, I'll watch it from the blimp cam again. And yeah, you said Zach McSwain got through that one. Jackson got a hard piece of it. McSwain got through it. Jeff Gilmore got through it. I don't know how Jeff Gilmore got through it, but yeah, McSwain and Gilmore, the only two drivers that did not get damage in that incident. How about that?
Well, that's probably going to ruin the 83's chance because I'm looking at him live now, and he's got a ton of front end damage.
Yep.
Oh, last. I wanted to say that was the last caution, but when you start stacking cautions towards the end of the race, they get really dicey and really racing. And it sucks for the 16. The rest of those guys, we had both packs meet out of their respective pit stops, and it looked like it was going to be some good racing to the end.
Yeah, that's going to be the thing here is I don't think that's going to be the last yellow.
It could be. It definitely took out quite a bit of contenders. I'm seeing Mark Jackson, but with right side damage. Matt, you can confirm that. Zach McSwain, John called out getting through, as did Jeff Gilmore. And whoever else wasn't running in that front pack.
Jackson got a piece of it. McSwain got through it. Gilmore did as well. Richard's good. Michael's good. Voiles, Reeves. Well, these are all drivers that weren't involved in it. But you go further back than the 096 of Johnny Smith, and they've all got damage. So, that being said, I think we're in for an interesting finish. Let's call it an interesting finish.
Yeah, that's for sure. Trying to take a look at some of these guys on pit road. John, any guys sitting down there trying to damage repair?
Ronald Klein looks like Shaw as well. Just about everybody that was involved in that crash in some way, shape, or form is trying to get fixed up. But those are the two big ones I see up at the front. They've been running up front all day.
Terrible, terrible, terrible. We've been rooting on the 05, obviously, and then Ronald Klein with a successful run tonight in that 76 machine. They made it through and till the very, very end. And gosh, you hate to see I think that's what, 2-3 big ones here tonight, and that was probably the biggest of them all, at least looking at end of the race wise.
Yeah, that is the third big one.
Oh, did Ronald Klein get out in time?
Yeah, he did.
05 definitely didn't. Oh, never mind. I think 05 was well far ahead of where I was looking at Ronald Klein. Well, new names. Well, not really new names, but different names out front. The scary guy behind everyone is Justin Michael, but if Mark Jackson's not affected by that damage, I think he's still the guy to beat out front.
And he controls this restart. We'll see how he takes this, if he jumps the start or if he waits until the green lights show.
I don't personally, John. At Dega, it doesn't really matter, especially if you don't got anyone else behind you that's going to jump with you. We saw it's good when you got 5 teammates, right? Because they were able to do that successful pit stop, get out of the cycle of what eventually happened. But Mark Jackson's alone. I'd just restart with the flagman, get all the push you can, and deal with all the things that are to come towards the end of this race. But, you know, I could be wrong. Maybe jumping the restart here is the best option for the three to make sure there's not anyone side by side with them.
Especially if you don't want anybody else running into the back of you right away, because that can be disastrous here too.
Yeah, that would be the bad thing is I don't like calling drivers for checking the restart unless they do, but, you know, obviously I think sometimes drivers unintentionally just go a mile an hour or two under right before the line in the green flag, and that's where we see what I would call restart damage, the bowing at the back of our race vehicles on the spoiler. Looks like someone hit you clean dead center, and that's usually where it comes from.
And right now, 8 laps to go. Lights are still on. We'll probably double up with 7. Do you see a green white checker happening here tonight?
I'm going to say no, but the answer is probably yes, Matt.
Yeah, I'm going to go with yeah. I don't see us not having a green white checker, to be honest, the way they've been running, you know?
Well, we haven't had not a green white checkered in quite a few races. Until they do differently, it's hard to bet against it.
And
Last 2 cup races, Matt, have been 3 green white checkers, and then it's ended on the final lap with the yellow. So I don't want to see that here tonight. Even though a green white checker might bring it to some sort of broadcaster, you know, spectacular finish, these guys just want to get out of here. 19 cars on the lead lap.
Yeah, and it'll be interesting just to see what happens. And who's your pick to win? That's my question.
Until Mark Jackson's passed, Mark Jackson. But like I said, the scary guy's the 87. 02's still there, Mitch Reeves. If I had to pick a off guy, the guy that's been out front all night is the 44. Can he win it from the outside?
That's a good pick right there. My pick, I'm going to go with, I'm going to go with the driver that we weren't necessarily or see in victory lane. I want to see, how about Jeff Gilmore go to victory lane?
Yeah.
Been a while since he's been to victory lane. I don't think he won last season a race. I know he won this championship.
Yeah, he's won the championship. He's proven what consistent driving can do. Gilmore definitely needs to win. I think he has at least 1 win all-time loose Lugnuts racing, so he's on that scoreboard. If we're looking like for first-time drivers, there's a ton of names out there still. You know, Trent Drum, Johnny Smith, Brian Abbott. So who knows what's going to happen. We're going to have very short amount of laps. It's going to be essentially green-white checker to end this race anyways.
Yeah, 5 to go when we go green. Mark Jackson. I'd love to see Mark Jackson win this race, too. I want to say that because he came from a lap down dead last and might just go to victory lane.
Yep.
I mean, that would be something else.
Story of the night so far, like I said, at least if you were writing up the race, it would definitely be Mark Jackson starting the way he did, out where he did, if he does finishes the way he did.
We'll see what happens here.
Yeah, you can definitely cut the tension with a knife from those guys that are at least undamaged. Damaged guys are probably just hoping for some extra time, unfortunately. And that's racing. You know, those guys in damage are racing for points too. A lot of points out there. I mentioned 19 cars still on lead lap. That's a lot of difference in points from first to 19.
And right now, getting ready to go racing. I'll let you get what hopefully will be the final green flag of the night here.
I'm hoping it too, because they can still make it interesting for 5 laps. That pace car going to dive down. John with the guessing of what Mark Jackson's going to do. Does he go quickly? Does he wait till, start finish line or the box of restart under NASCAR sanctioning rules? He has the option under the league rules of Loose Lugnuts Racing. So as soon as that pace car ducks, he could fire it up. There's the duck from the pace car. It's a long walk up, and I like to talk anyway, so Gilmore's going to be the pusher. I haven't seen him push too much up front, haven't been watching him push at least. Ray Richer, Zach McSwain actually might have a good deal with Ray Richer being a successful pusher on the outside so far.
Yeah, that he might.
Green, 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 hopefully for the last time. Not seeing too much tire spin or at all. There goes 3. Steady start, and that's what the field needs. Some bouncing inside to outside. A lot of damage in the back 15.
Mark Jackson, he got the start he needed. I tell you, that 3 truck, he might not be good at pushing with the side damage, but he might just be fine leading.
Yeah,
5 laps to go.
I would not want anyone damaged behind me pushing. There goes Zach McSwain.
Oh, boy.
That's too early.
Way too early. He's still got 4 laps. He's got way too much time.
There's enough time to cycle, obviously, but Ray Richer definitely probably said, good, you want to go? Go.
Look at Chris Voiles. Where did he come from?
We haven't seen him win since the summer schedule, Matt.
I don't recall seeing him win.
I think we had a Charlotte race with Chris Voiles during the summer that he won. So
let's go. Go,
yeah,
Chris.
let's see what Chris can do. I know he's not anywhere close to points, but
that would be cool. I maybe he won. I'm gonna be honest. I don't recall ever seeing that 28 in Victory Lane or the 0029 or the 029 at the time.
I think Kerry Cleaver may have got a short track race back in the day. I'm not really certain.
Well, I think no. Voiles was the 029 last season. Remember? Or no, or was he the 009?
Yeah.
Might have been the 009.
It's hard to tell, but he's definitely rocking the same paint scheme.
Yeah, that beautiful Hardy's car. That would be awesome to see that win. 3 more times around.
Ray Richer pushed to 3 wide.
Mark Jackson's going to try and make something happen here. Ray Richer, he's pushed out of the picture. Oh, Mark Jackson almost got pushed out of the picture.
What a save.
But did you see Zach McSwain got bobbled around too, so it don't matter. They all got bobbled.
Yeah. Jeff Gilmore still hunting.
They got to go 2 laps without wrecking. I don't know if they can.
They're not acting like it.
I don't think they can. I hate
far.
to say that. I don't think they can, though. But look at Chris Voiles. He's right there. Let's go. He's right there.
McSwain's got to protect every inch. No one's going to give an inch either. Justin Michaels around there. Jeff Gilmore. Trent Drum, like I mentioned.
2 laps to go.
We're within less than a tenth of each driver, and there's probably 5 to 8 point differences that these guys are fighting for.
Chris Voiles had the lead there. He's got a lap and a half at the straightaway if he can make that outside line work with him.
I haven't seen too much of the 28 up there, but he does have a teammate of Justin Michael behind him. 3rd line. There we go.
McSwain has the inside. McSwain's got the inside all to himself. That's not going to change. That outside line, though, they might be able to make something happen.
Yeah, Gilmore's happy with any points, even though he does want to win. I expect him to make a move in the tri-oval from the inside line.
Final lap, white flag presented by Over the Top Paints and Designs, coming at you. Best paint schemes on iRacing. Chris Voiles, he leads this lap.
Yeah, well, next lap the next flag will end this race, Matt.
He needs to lead 3 laps tonight. Can he lead his 3rd? He's got it. He's got it through the corner. Justin Michaels got to stay tucked up behind him. That entire outside line has to stay tucked up behind him, and that's going to be the problem. They're going to beat
at the moment.
They're going to beat and bang. Chris Voiles has the lead, coming through 3 and 4. They got to get basically to turn 1 though. That's the problem. It's not just the tri-oval. Onto the front stretch for the final time. Can he get a run through the trioval? Side by side, 3 wide.
At the bottom.
Mid-range crash.
Down bottom.
Chris Voiles is going to win this race. Can he do it? Yes, he does. Chris Voiles to victory lane. How about that?
What a race, though. Despite the crashing there at the end, because I knew that move was coming from the 57.
Where did he come from?
Chris Voiles with the
That
win.
is awesome. That is awesome. I mean, he came from nowhere.
That man is going to be happy. 34th to 1st tonight, Matt.
How about that from the back to the front? Chris Voiles, Justin Michael, Johnny Smith, and Mitchell Reeves, your top 4. Then it's Trent Drum, Richer, Covington, Gilmore, McSwain, Abbott, Jackson, Cleaver, Klein, Ream, Shaw, Murray, Shaw, Haney, Merck, Haney, Thornhill, Haynes, Arms, Tierheimer, Dugas, Richardson, Donahue, Chadwick, Fesden, Watts, Zontner, Crandell, Browder, McFarlane, Winter, Scott, and rounding out the field will be Josh Scott. But let's get Chris Voiles up here. And man, oh man, what a finish. Chris Voiles, have you got a copy on me?
Yeah, man, I got a copy.
I mean, that was awesome. That was awesome to watch. That great final restart. That I don't know what else to say. That was awesome to watch.
I hope we put on a good show there for the fans, man. Anybody watching, I completely enjoyed that. I got to thank all my teammates there: Justin, Johnny, Wally, Rob, all of them, Kerry. I mean, that was just amazing working together with those guys. And hate that late caution there at the end there, but I mean, it was a lot of fun.
Now, coming into this race tonight, did you expect to go to victory lane? What were you expecting out of this race?
I was expecting a good run. We had enough people on our team. We all know how to work together. We've raced a long time together with each other. And so I was expecting one of us to have a really good finish and the rest of them be right behind them. So I wasn't expecting it to be me. I usually don't have that kind of luck, but I appreciate Justin and Johnny hanging in there with me.
Now, how did that car handle for you tonight, dear?
It was good. I mean, it was pretty stable. The tires never really gave up. I mean, they seemed like they stayed there the whole race.
Any sponsors you want to thank, that kind of thing?
Not really. I mean, I can't thank my teammates enough. I mean, they helped out a bunch. We worked together, calling everything out, through the race, what we're doing on pit stops, and it just, everything worked right. It has to work right 100% here, or you're not going to be around for the end, and it did. So I appreciate all of those guys.
All right, thanks for talking to us, man. Great job on the finish. Great to see you in victory lane.
Thanks, sir.
All right, next up on the interview block, it is Justin Michael with Jeff Wood.
Yeah, Justin Michael, 87. Got to talk to you a little bit earlier. I mean, what a team finish. I'm looking down the boards here, 1, 2, 3 at least. You got a couple of other guys that were hunting towards the end for top 10s. Points-wise, I'll go ahead and spill it out for you. You're probably at least tied or 1 point behind Mitch Reeves. What a Talladega, though, man. In second place, you can't hope for, but one position better.
No, it was a good finish. We got the 1, 2, 3 team finish there. That's what we were hoping for. So that was pretty awesome, and we had a lot of good teamwork there. At 3 laps to go, and we were able to hook up and get the lead, and get Chris the lead anyway. And how I lasted that long, I don't know, because the last 2 laps my oil temperature was pegged. So I'm surprised I didn't blow up.
Well, that's a good thing, points-wise and finish-wise, because if you would have blown up in the line that you're in, we might have seen a green-white checkered, and we've seen enough of those this season already. But the 87 finishes second. Team-wise, great night, like you said. It's got to boost the confidence. You don't have to worry about Dega being your drop race after Daytona, or Watkins Glen, excuse me. So you got a little bit of breathing room.
Yeah, definitely. It was definitely good points nights, which was what we were hoping for. And I don't know. We might be tied with Mitchell now. I don't know if we get bonus points for lead laps or not. But yeah, definitely a good night. And thank you guys for calling a good race. And thank everybody out there for watching.
Yeah. Any other sponsors there?
Yeah, just 511 Tactical AR15.com, and I think my friend Darren's out there. If he's still watching now, he might have shut it off already. But I always appreciate him watching, shooting me texts throughout the race.
All right. Well, we'll see you next week. Well, the rest of the week here at Talladega in the other 2 divisions, and next week when we head to Chicagoland.
Thanks, guys.
All right. And with the next interview, I think Matt will let John talk to Johnny. So take it away, John.
Yeah, John Show.
Stereo Jones. Hey, John, how was that race for you today, man? Looks like you came back pretty clean.
That was nerve-wracking. At the end there, we had that strategy for that pit stop. I messed up on pit road. I lost the other guys. Luckily, we got that caution. We're able to bunch back up and get where we needed to be at the end.
How'd you manage to keep yourself that clean throughout that race?
Running in the back and literally just giving the guy in front of you some space, and working with your teammates helps out a lot. You know, everyone calls out what's going on around them and in front of them. So it's really teamwork and just being smart about it.
100%. Is there anybody you want to thank out there?
Well, obviously, I got to thank all my teammates there that at the end. Wally, Chris, Kerry. Chris, congratulations on the win, man. Other than that, man, I'm just very excited. I've had nothing but bad luck lately, and feels good to finish up front.
Well, congrats on finishing on that podium, buddy.
Thank you.
All right, folks, and from all of us at the American Sim Network, we hope you enjoyed tonight's race as much as we enjoyed bringing it to you. We'll see y'all in the next show, and have a great night, everybody. Catch you around.